Which WWE release will have the biggest future impact?
This is a great question because I think Dakota Kai, if she, depending on what company she goes to, and if she stays healthy, she could really be able to be an impact player. There's something about Braun Strowman I want to talk to you about. I know you're a busy man, so you didn't hear my Busted Open show on Sunday. But Busted Open, I'm on Sunday mornings. I extend my Good Karma Wrestling brand out to SiriusXM Fight Nation every Sunday morning. We had a conversation about big men in wrestling, and not just AEW, WWE and everyone else across the board. There's something going on with the big man that the big man is not over like it should be. Here's Braun Strowman, a guy here that got the body, he's got the look, babyface or heel. He's that guy. And what's happened now, especially as of late, say the last 5 to 10 years, is the big man is just a comedy act now. A comedy act, especially in WWE. Like, if we go to the great Khali, talk about the Big Show and his many turns, he's got more turns than a NASCAR event. All the stuff that he went through, and so many others, that the big man does not necessarily get over. And Braun Strowman is a guy could have been a middle tier champion. If he's a babyface, kids liked him because he did that little choo-choo thing that was taken by Braun Breaker. And so he took his gimmick. So I'm saying is that the answer should be Braun Strowman, but the way that big men are utilized today, they're not utilized as monsters anymore, Brian. They're utilized as just comedy figures, or guys that can get easily beat by the faster guy. That's a problem.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when you mentioned Braun, like he to me is someone I think will get some great paydays on the indie scene, but is a guy that just sort of makes the local indie champion look better. Because like, oh, I took out Braun. Like Braun during these last few months, like Jacob Fatu, what's his face that's hurt right now, big dude. Like Braun put him over. Bronson Reed. Like Braun was a big reason why those two monsters got put over. Like Braun made them look good. He's definitely the most surprising release there. But yeah, like one of these big men being a champion, like I guess you're thinking of like the old school big man though, because like doesn't Jacob Fatu qualify?
Well, I guess that's what it is today. That guy was just kind of like a super heavyweight, or just kind of like, I guess the big man today is Rusev. That's not the big man that I grew up with. The big man I grew up with was Big John Studd.
Right.
That's what and Andre.
Right.
Like, but the big man to you was Kurgan. That's what you grew up with. That's your generation. it's like
that's accurate.
I understand. Yes. Like exactly. That's your big. The big man I grew up with was Kamala and One Man Gang and guys like that, right? I don't go back as far as Haystacks Calhoun, but you know what I'm saying. Like that's the big guy. But I guess today, Fatu, Rusev, guys like that,
Braun.
Those.
Yeah, like those are guys that are future world champions, but those are our current day big men.
But
like,
what about
the
big
now.
man, like the guy that's in stature, big, tall, but yet can't get over because there was this because there was a time that the big man was feared. He'd come into your territory and like, oh my God. Now again, TV. This is why TV was so great back then. The old Andre shot, man. They'd shoot up from his feet all the way to his afro. And they'd say, there he is, 7'4" from Grenoble, France. And they show the camera shot and just like, oh, my God, look how big this guy is. Big John Studd was every bit of 6'10". They had the old Andre shot from shot from underneath for Big John Studd. So what I'm saying is that for Strowman, it's too bad that he's not on top of my list. Like I've got Dakota Kai and I've got Jakara Jackson before Strowman on my list.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Dakota Kai is someone that, if healthy, adds a lot to any women's division. It's interesting where when we talk about where they might end up, if you're released from WWE,
kind of, sort of.
Like, are you going to go work for a company that then ends up working for WWE anyway?
That's why it's awkward for Nick Nemeth. It's like,
right.
And some of these other guys that got released. I think that TNA is an option because they're working with them. They're not working for them. Make sense?
Okay. But like Elias made an appearance on NXT. Like he was released from the WWE. It's like, hey, you can come to our developmental, but we're not going to call you Elias. We're going to call you, I think Elijah is what he's going by now. Like,
yeah, it's his indie name.
yeah, like,
No.
I don't understand. Like, WWE owns that. They had the relationship. Very odd there. But yeah, Dakota's definitely the top of my list. Cora Jade, she's young. She showed some flashes in NXT. CM Punk seemed to be invested in her also. Like, I'm curious to see if there's something there in the future.
There's some guys there. I did a little research. Eddie Thorpe, who I don't know if that was written or not, that whole thing that in the ring with Lexus King, Brian Pillman Jr., something like, he said something like, another white man is entitled, trying to get a title shot or something like that. I'm like, who did anyone write that, or did he say that? And I don't think Eddie Thorpe is a Native American either. I don't know what that was. That was strange, but he was cut after that, though. After that,
I believe he is Native American. Yes,
but he was cut after that. And then I did a little bit more research, and you tell me if I'm on track. Shayna Baszler also was cut, and Shayna Baszler, I know it was awkward when we first saw her, right?